morning everybody, and this is Bernie from Stampin on another Friday card making session with you. And I cannot believe it is already the 1st of October and it's a glorious sunny morning here in Tauranga, New Zealand, and I hope wherever this finds you that you are having a fantastic day. So this morning I want to feature another SIP card, which is a stamp, ink and paper card. But before that I do that, I have two very exciting things that I want to share with you. The first is my 12 weeks to Christmas. So what this is every week, and it is 12 weeks to Christmas, which is quite sobering. Every week you will receive on Wednesday at 1 o'clock, you will receive a free resource in your email box from me featuring a card for the first few weeks, and then we're going to look at making some gifts and then doing bags and tags as we get closer to Christmas. And you will need, I just want to make sure I can see that on the camera, you will need to subscribe to my newsletter, and this is where you will find the form to click on that. So if you want to take a screenshot of that and then go onto the mailing list, and then you will receive that free of charge. The other incredibly exciting thing that I also want to share for locals that might be watching in New Zealand, and especially the greater Western Bay of Plenty, is I am planning an escape and create retreat, and you may not be able to see it. Let me just bring it closer to the camera. So it is for the 19th to the 21st of November, and here again is the registration form. Now I do just want to let you know this is an exclusive invitation. There are only 15 guests invited. Well, there will only be 15 guests that will be on this retreat. There are already 5 places that have been paid and booked. 1 is still pending payment. So you have 9 places that you can, well 10 if the other person doesn't pay. So in order to secure your place, you do have to make your full payment, and if we happen to go into lockdown, you get reimbursed for the accommodation portion. I will take this on virtually, and you will receive all your kits via courier. So those are my two really exciting bits of information, and I will be sharing that with you every Friday until we don't need to. So today I am going to be featuring this beautiful SIP card, and the inspiration came from Lillian Kemp. So thank you to Lillian for the inspiration of this card. I just changed it up slightly from the original design that she did, and this is featuring the Harvest Meadow Suite that is in the mini catalogue that ends on the 31st of December. And I had to print it because I've run out of catalogues, but it is absolutely gorgeous. So it's got a very earthy feel to it. We're going to be featuring some of the papers. The cork is stunning. The time embossed or time worn embossing folder is beautiful. I used that last week in a project that I did, and this is what the stamp and die set look like. So that is the Nature's Harvest, the stamp set, and then I keep getting a glare on my light, and then this is the Harvest dies. So you've got this, and then if you turn it over, you've actually got pieces, and one that looks like this that we'll be using today. So not only do they cut out the stamped images, but I've got one in there that I used on a previous project as well. Won't fair for that now. So beautiful. I love the words, sending healing thoughts, thank you, reminder to never forget how much you mean to me. Beautiful. Also it features these stunning gems. Beautiful. So these are the brushed metal adhesives. We'll be using that today. It's got some lovely ribbon, and the ribbon looks like this. It's got a gorgeous diamond weave to it. So it's a very, very versatile bundle. And as with everything in Stampin' Up, if you buy the bundle, you get a 10% discount, which is good value for money. So let's get started with the card. So I just want to bring everything out. I'm going to set that to the side. And for a change, I'm actually using Very Vanilla. I saw when I took out the Calypso Coral, I thought, actually I'm going to do it in Very Vanilla for a change. So you will need a piece of Calypso Coral, and you need to cut it at 5.5 by 8.25, scored at 4 1/8. You will also need a piece of Very Vanilla, which is 5.25 by 4 inch. So this is your inner. Then you'll need another piece of Very Vanilla, which is 3.5 by 4 1/4. So that's to put your DSP on. And then a piece of DSP of your choice, 3 by 4, cut in 3 by 1 inch strips. You'll need a little bit of Very Vanilla scrap, which is 1/2 inch by 2 by 3/4 for your greeting. And then a piece of Very Vanilla. I punched this out with 2.5 inch punch. But if you don't have a punch, you can use any shape. You don't have to use that measurement. You can use what you have. And this is the versatility of this project, is that you can literally just take what you have and use it like that. So we'll set that to the side. So with your Calypso Coral, I just burnish that inside. Just take that washi tape out. So burnish that. Let's make sure that's nice and burnished. And we'll set that to the side because we're going to concentrate first on doing the DSP. So I'll just get my paper trimmer. So these have to be cut at 3 by 1 inch strips. And when you cut them, it is a good idea to just put them down in the order in which you trimmed them, because there is a pattern. It's not a big deal if you don't, but it does look nice if you can remember to do that. So we'll set those to the side. Right, let me just bring that in here. And what we're going to do is we're going to position them on the Very Vanilla cardstock like that. So the best way to do that is to make sure that you've got them in the right position. So I like to just flip them over in the direction in which they're going to go. And because we're matching up a pattern, you'll glue the outside pieces first and then the inside. So using my Tombow, and I just put my grid paper down there just to guide me. And the outside one. So with the retreat, I'm just going to grab a gap here while I'm doing this to let you know that I'm going to be teaching 4 classes. There are 5 classes, and I have a very, very special guest that will be coming in on the Sunday morning. That's going to be teaching a class of hers. All expenses are covered in your $300 registration fee. And it is the most incredible venue that we are going to. Right, so that's going to go like that. So I'm just going to set that aside for now. And now I'm going to use crumb cake. And I'm just going to stamp the image. But it's going to go off, so it's not going to be all together. We're not going to have all the daisies showing, and that's okay. But try and get most of them in your circle. So the cooking is incredible. The accommodation, the bedding is just so comfortable. Oops, look, you see, that didn't work. So now we're going to turn it over. And I'm just going to do that again. Just make sure This is why I love grid paper. Yep, that's a better image. Let's try that again. Just hold that down firmly. That's better. And while we've got that stamp out, because I'm going to repeat that in the inside of my card, just repeat that process. Stamp up and stamp off. There we go. So I can set the stamp to the side. Keep your ink pad open, because now we're going to do the sentiment. And you will see on the original that it just says healing thoughts. Now underneath it, it says sending healing thoughts, but it wouldn't fit in. So I just thought, we'll just make it healing thoughts. And also I've taped off the bottom. So we need to do that. But before we do that, I want to just flag the end of my cardstock. Now if you don't have a punch, I don't have a flag punch, I just used, you can cut it by just creating a cut, or I just went in here with my punch, my detailed trio punch, and that seemed to do the job. Whoops, maybe not today. It's always so funny when these things happen on camera. So let's just go around. That's not quite how I want it, so let me just, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip that over and stick that underneath, because that's now not as I wanted it, and I'm just going to show you how you flag your own. So you don't have to always have everything in the catalogue. It is going to mean that I have to be very careful about where I fit my words, because I've now lost quite a bit of my cardstock. Alright, that'll do. So if you're going, I just want to see healing thoughts, yeah, that'll still fit. With taping off, you need to, it's best to use washi tape, and I have previously demonstrated this process. Oh gosh, of course it's always when you're making a recording that you struggle. There we go. So I'm going to tape it off. Just make sure that you can pull off enough washi tape to secure it on there, because you don't want it pulling off when you're busy inking it. And then you ink it up like you would normally. Yep. And then you pull off the washi tape, and now you just need to make sure that you get the bit in that you want to be there. So healing thoughts, and don't worry about that other bit sending coming in, because we're going to hide it under that circle. Perfect. Right. It's not quite the way I had it from the first one, but it will do. Alright, this I'm going to put on dimensionals. So as I was saying, the accommodation is incredibly beautiful. There's a private waterfall on the premises that you can access with the owner's permission. The food is so yummy, and it's just such an incredibly peaceful environment that we are going to. So if you are living in Tauranga or around, I would really encourage you to book soon, because I think it's going to go those last few rooms are going to go very, very quickly. Okay, so now we position this more or less in the middle, and now I'm going to glue my sentiment down. was just looking, trying to find what have I done with my, and I want the end of that to be in line with, not parallel, but to be in line with the edge of my card. And then here comes my circle, and we're going to position that so. I'm just going to go up a bit because of the way that I made that banner. And we are taking, oh my golly gosh, what did I do with them now? Oh my golly gosh. I had my gems. Oh, they're right in front of me. Can't see for looking. Okay. And I'm going to take the coppery one, pop it there. We're putting our the inner inside. This card shouldn't take you more than 10-15 minutes to whip up if you're needing a card on the fly. And there you have it. So banner, this one didn't come out as nicely as this one. Actually, this one's wider. I know why I made it wider, because I wanted the whole sentiment in it. Ah, Bernie. Anyway, that's okay. So here we have the original. Here we have the one that's got healing thoughts. I might pop something else in there. But there you go. That's a zip card. Stamp ink, paper, and you're done. So thank you so much for joining me once again on my Friday class making. Do just want to remind you that all my projects are found under Stampin', stampingupnate.myprojects. Please feel free to follow me on Facebook, Stampin', Instagram, Stampin', and Pinterest under Bernie4128. And as always, like I say every Friday, until we meet again, remember, stamp, eat, sleep, repeat.